Welcome to Cold Hard Trash, CRT episode 48. I'm your host, Trashcan Jones.
And I'm Breeeg, your fellow host.
So before we recorded today, we went out and got the duck shit oolong tea. I don't know if we talked about it. Did we talk about it on the last episodes?
No, I found it like a week ago.
Yeah, you sent it. You had it on your Instagram story, and I called you a coward for not ordering it. So you're like, all right, fine, we're going to get it the next time you come over.
You are not the only one that's called me a coward for that.
Why did,
but now I'm brave.
We got it. Yeah, it's not not what I thought. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not duck shit. It doesn't look like duck shit. It doesn't taste like duck shit.
Yeah, unlike it was like cat shit coffee.
Yeah, that's actual, just like, and the bat shit too, like this bat guano, I think you get the coffee beans out of. I think there's also one like that.
Really?
I think. I don't know. I could be way off.
I'm
not a coffee person.
But everyone calls bat shit guano, but I think guano is like any duty.
Could be. I don't know. But you have been refusing to tell me anything about the duck shit. So why is it duck shit? What is the mistranslation?
Joke's on you. It actually is. Just kidding.
Insert Family Guy.
The translation is not wrong, though. It is actually called duck shit, oolong in Chinese.
Okay.
The supposed story, and there's multiple out there, is that whoever first had like the bushes for this type of tea really liked that tea and didn't want anyone to steal it. So if it was like an individual or like an entire town or whatever, they started calling it duck shit tea, and they'd start telling people that, oh yeah, you know, the ducks that we keep around here, like they'll go over there and they're all shit around the bush, you know, you don't want to take anything from that.
So it's to ward people off of their delicious tea.
Yeah, it's they want to keep it for themselves. You know?
Well, I must say, I would have preferred them to keep it to themselves. It does not taste good.
I like it. It's good.
It's got an okay like foretaste of all the fruits and everything, but I guess if you like tea, like oolong tea, it's probably just what it tastes like. It's bad. It's not good to me.
It's like there was an attempt to rebrand after it sort of like started picking up popularity in America because they thought that, you know, duck shit would be too crass. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, we're going to start calling it honeysuckle aroma oolong. And the fans of the tea weren't willing to accept that.
they wanted the duck shit. That's funny.
The crazy thing is, like, I asked the guy there, like, last time I was at this place, and I was like, what does this mean? Like, what is this item? And he's like, oh, it's like, you know, an oolong. It's got fruits in it and stuff. He didn't even acknowledge, like, the one part
that you're asking about. Yeah. Why is it called duck shit?
I guess I didn't ask it so directly. But
hey, buddy, I don't know if you can read this one word that's not on any other menu, but why?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's good. It's supposedly a very prized variety of oolong. I like this, you know, iced tea with lemon, but it's oolong. It's pretty good.
I could do without.
Ward off all the thieves for it. It's so good.
And nobody else will want this tea because as soon as they drink it, they'll be like, yeah, you can keep it. I'm like, no, please. Please take this. So you've heard of the Pillsbury Doughboy, right? You know he actually has a name beyond that?
Oh, he like clocks in as a Pillsbury Doughboy?
No, I mean like he had like the Pillsbury Doughboy is just what people refer to him as because it's just like the standard name. Like how you would call the Cocoa Puffs Cuckoo Bird, whatever his name is. He probably has one, but you know, I have no idea. The Trix Rabbit, like he probably also has a name. The Lucky Charms Leprechaun, like it's what is the character name of the Pillsbury Doughboy?
I'm gonna guess Gerard.
No, not even close. It's like a cute pet name.
Vincent. Okay, well, Patty.
Kind of close. It's Poppin' Fresh.
Oh, come on. You said he has a real fucking name.
I mean, he has a name, like, yeah, but it's like after the thing, they literally have it on the cans. Like, it's called the Poppin' Fresh Seal when you, like, have to. But yeah, it's kind of a real name, but that's what his, like, official name is. He's Poppin' Fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Look, from now on, I'm going to try and trap you in a bet where I get to name your firstborn, and I'm going to tell you to name it Poppin' Fresh, and you tell me that's a real fucking name.
I mean, do you think I wasn't already planning on naming the firstborn? It's already in the mix. Right? She knows.
It's just assurance.
My girl knows.
I need it.
I'll get it in writing for you.
Okay, good.
He's in other commercials too. It's just the crazy thing. I didn't realize that there was like it used to be happen. I guess a lot more at the beginning of what you call it, like advertising commercials. It would be really frequent for like a lot of conglomerates, like different brands to come together, so you'd see like different mascots in the same commercial. But even nowadays, like you'll see Poppin' Fresh and like going through security for like a Geico ad, or like, you know, different things. Like he's in other brands.
Oh, the brand extended universe.
Yeah, it's
the
like
advertising mascot extended universe.
It's wild how like Pillsbury Doughboy can just go like to everywhere. He's not loyal to anyone. He's going to insurance companies. He's going to, I think, like even has a McDonald's ad just because he's with the McDonald's people too. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they got the agency, you know, finding him work, Mr. Poppin' Fresh. You know, Eric Andre was actually, I don't think he was in a commercial. I think he was in like a, I don't know, a flash mob or some type of thing of Geico caveman.
Oh, really?
Because remember when they were doing that whole thing where it was just a bunch of cavemen? He was a Geico caveman at one point.
Nice, like before
his show.
Oh, cool. I was gonna say, I know he had like it was like Takis or something like that he was like an actually advertisement for. I remember seeing. Might have been Takis. I don't remember. It was some kind of snack.
Chance the Rapper was slinging kitkats at one point.
Just like
I mean, he was
as some profit, or he was like an actual spokesman.
He was a spokesman. Yeah,
oh,
he was
cool.
in commercials or something.
Nice. He's like just selling candy bars at school.
No.
Like,
well, we had a guy like that in my high school.
Everybody did selling candy bars.
Well, yeah, he had like, you know, like his sodas, his candies, and stuff like that, and like that is against the rules. Of the school.
Like he was just running a whole black market operation. It wasn't even for the band. Like he was selling candy bars.
No,
he was just doing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember one day in band, a couple of my friends. He used to be in band in middle school, then he left in high school, but you know was still friends with a lot of the band kids. And I remember some of them like talking about how they need to go and like get the money out of his locker, you know, like soon, or else. It's like
shit.
it's gonna get confiscated.
Oh damn! So he's probably like dodging the law and everything, because the school's really breaking down that much. Like, oh, you're not buying from the cafeteria, you're stealing from the school.
It's just breaking the rules, and you have to enforce them.
I guess
It's your job.
I guess I don't know. You're really like gonna be pinching kids for selling sodas.
They didn't even sell sodas at the school. Maybe you could find a vending machine or two near like the basketball courts or something.
That's what I'm saying. He's providing a service that just wasn't there.
Well, he sold chips.
I mean,
They would sell chips
who cares?
in the school.
Again, penny pinching. It would probably be a little bit harder to go to the cafeteria, a little bit easier to go to the guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was because he was cutting into the school's profits. I just think they didn't like.
It's a weird rule to have, is what I'm saying. It's like he's entrepreneurial in spirit. Let him be that way.
Yeah. But they had to lay down the law, and I think they got the money out in time. Good for
Nice. The heist was successful. Dude, Butt Night was on sale on Steam, by the way. Did you check that out?
Butt Night?
Yeah. It's on the top, like the Steam special.
Is this a dating
thing.
sim?
I have no idea. It just said a porn sex simulation game, and it was called Butt Night. And it was one of the top trending games on Steam. I was like, how far have we fallen?
Something, sword in the stone.
It wasn't even just Butt Night. Not even like anything clever. It was like one of those ads like you see on the banner of like a 2005 like Flash game website or something. It's just like, it's a whole Steam game.
It's straightforward.
People were paying $20 for that.
You know, it's straightforward. You know what you're here for. They know what you're here for.
But
let's cut to the chase.
It's just so like it says everything in the title. Like I don't need to really know anymore. It's just I couldn't even like not look past it because it was just like the front of the store on Steam. Like, oh, Butt Night. What? There's numbers behind that. That's what got it here. That's crazy. How far have we fallen as a society?
No, this is growth. I mean, we don't like it, but you know.
My brother, this is the peace the true warriors strive for.
It's also like a parody, right? Like, I feel like the genre is probably full of parody things. There's that shark one that I was talking about before. Butt Night is obviously parody sounding. Yeah,
I wonder how much like it leans into the parody versus like, oh, we're doing funny and here's the sex scenes, ha ha, and then you're actually still showing sex scenes. So like, yeah, you're being funny, but you're also just still being a porn game since like
Yeah.
Like how much of the haha is actually on the people buying it as opposed to on you who has now spent hours looking at pictures of porn to give to people.
Yeah. My one-time viewing one, I mean, I was entertained at least, but not for the reasons I'm assuming they were hoping. I remember seeing a dating sim that was apparently popular on phones for a bit, and it was like dating a horse prince. And you were like dating a guy whose entire body was a horse, but instead of a horse head, he was just
a regular
prince.
human face.
Yeah. You like feed him carrots and stuff.
What? Okay.
Well, you can't hold carrots.
Yeah, but why are people... I assume that's a fake one. Like, people weren't actually like, oh, this is so great. The next 50 Shades of Grey is so hot. But, like...
I mean, is anyone like that about these things?
I assume so, right? So there has to be at least a small niche that is like, this is the pinnacle. This is what I want, right? Mm-hmm. Not everybody cannot be laughing at these. Mm-hmm. There has to be some core that's like, oh, yes, I've been waiting for it.
I mean, what you do is you hone in on these individual things that some people are going to be really into, and then you get a broader market appeal off of how weird it is.
Right. It's like if you're a One Punch Man, King, when they show him in real life, like all he does is buy dating sim games and like read romantic mangas in real life.
Yeah, and he just happens to be there when like
all the cool shit goes down. Whenever Saitama actually kills a guy in One Punch. Mm-hmm. And then it just turns out he's a lonely nerd.
Yeah. He didn't get mad when Saitama deleted his save file, though. So,
oh, you see, I thought he did get mad, but he was like, "No, it's all right." Like trying to just like,
yeah, I mean, he played it off.
Like, what am I gonna do to this guy? Like, he's literally the reason that I have any fame or fortune, and also could kill me.
I don't think he was like. I don't think he felt like he owed Saitama that.
No, he definitely doesn't. But it's just like one of the things where, like, in that moment, he's like, I really have no recourse other than just like, ooh. And even then, like, it's how bad you don't want to disown somebody just for that. So yeah.
Yeah.
One Punch Man is a great comic, though.
So, you've picked up your first Elder Scrolls game.
I have. I've been playing Oblivion on stream. It has been a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
And I was also really glad to hear that you planned on doing another run because, like, there's 5 guilds and then, DLC storylines and stuff. Mm. And I felt like you weren't really biting on the guilds. And I was like, is he just going to finish the main quest? Because, like, there's so much stuff there that I didn't want you to miss out on.
I might join the Fighters
again.
Guild.
It's like, you're hooked. You're into it.
Right. I've heard of this, like, murder guild, too. I've heard rumors where if you murder someone, like, the dark cult comes to you at night or whatever and, like, takes you. So I might murder somebody and do that quest line. Yeah. Because it's either that or the Fighters Guild. And I feel like I'm doing stealth kind of build and, dark murder seems more in line than just going out to be a heroic fighter.
Well, the fun thing is that, like, most people that play these Bethesda games, like, a lot of people do this in Skyrim, too. Mm-hmm. Part of the experience is having one guy that is just like the boss of every single organization in the country because, like, oh yeah, this random barbarian could cast Firebolt. Let's make him King of the Mages Guild. Let's, this guy is now the leader of the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild, and
the same guy.
It was you.
You
finished all the quest lines.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess it really doesn't. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
As long as you just do the quest, it doesn't really matter like what the build you're going into. But I feel like I kind of want to almost lore play it. Like my character wouldn't really want to go into the Mages Guild or Fighters Guild. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fair. Fighters Guild is just contracted. You do
mercenary work, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a bit cleaner than that though.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard like all them saying like you should do like what's good for society, like all hero and justice rhetoric.
Yeah, like a lot of the earlier ones is just like, hey, I got like some animals in my basement. Can you come and clear them out for me?
Right, extermination makes sense. This stuff that like the army wouldn't be doing because they got bigger shit to fry, but it's still work that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. And it's a private building,
Right.
But yeah, the whole thing with every you on one character going through and completing all the quest lines, it sort of came. I don't know. I always connect it with this. The idea that The Rock and Snoop Dogg are just sort of doing side quests at this point in their life.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, they completely maxed out, like, the thing that they're doing and like, they got enough money to, for the rest of their lives. So now
Pretty
they
much.
just kind of do what they want to do. You know? Rock doing movies and stuff like that after his...
He's fucking ruining wrestling, too, because he's just wanting to do movies, but then like, oh, I'm going to come back and then just be, the quote-unquote, the biggest guy in wrestling for absolutely no reason. I have a whole other wrestling podcast where I just go on and on about it, so I won't drop it all here, but fuck The Rock.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also kind of weird if you're like the leader of the Dark Brotherhood and the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild. You know, people would be like, "This guy isn't doing shit." Like,
but he did shit like a while ago.
Exactly.
Especially in Oblivion, though, it's like over the course of like months. It wasn't like, all right, I put Oblivion down for like 6 years, then came back and finished the Mages Guild quest line, just like that one mission, and then I'm like, all right, now I'm king of the Mages Guild. No, I'm never going to do the Mages Quest Guild again. Like, no, I'm going to go back and play Oblivion again. I'm going to start fresh. I feel like it's not exactly 1-to-1. Especially because the Rock's, if he was coming back, like you say, then he would go back and like actually start wrestling, as opposed to just coming back like, I'm the boss, nobody can beat me, and then that's it. He doesn't even like wrestles once a year. I'm getting into it. I don't want to fucking get into it.
That's
I
fair.
don't want to get into the goddamn Rock.
He's just sort of doing what he wants, you know?
Yeah.
He made a fucking rap that sucked.
Yeah, he sucks.
You got Snoop Dogg on cooking shows and selling wine,
hosting the Olympics and shit. Yeah.
You know, they finished their quest line. Now they just get to go do the other ones, mess around.
Yeah.
They're already high level.
That's pretty fair. Yeah. Hope to get to that point in life where I could just finish my main quest.
Yeah.
My main goal is to blow up, then act like I don't know nobody. Gotta get the fucking chain chomp teeth.
Yeah. I love that.
I love the emoji version of it where like they put all the different emojis to play it out, and the end of it is that it's just a chain chomp picture. Just
That's a perfect quote.
It's so good. Vine was ahead of its time, truly. They've been trying so hard to get back to it. It'll never return.
Yeah,
Vine taught us so much.
There's some like Vine-esque things on like TikTok and just the way that videos are
still
done now.
To this day, you can find videos on YouTube posted with the title Vine compilation. Vine has been a dead app for what, a decade? That name has not left the nomenclature. Holy shit, did they fumble that?
Yeah. Well, they were gonna release Vine 2.
Yeah, they fumbled that bag so hard. That would have been the next TikTok. TikTok wouldn't even had room. If Vine was still around, TikTok would not have had room. It would have just been like the secondary shit.
I wonder what it was.
I don't know. I assume just behind the scenes botchery. Just like people who not really were ready to run a big Fortune 500 company, and then it exploded to Fortune 500 kind of growth overnight.
No, also they didn't really have monetization.
Oh, that's
like
true.
that.
I remember that being a big part of it. They couldn't really like make money off the platform. So maybe like they never really started it as a money-making venture, and at the time where they realized they could, it was too late. Something like that. I don't know. We should look into it. I'm really curious about that.
But I want to keep on talking about Oblivion. There's
Okay.
a lot of cool shit that I feel like is like Bethesda was a really big player in these RPGs for a very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't released a new game, and okay, they released Starfield, but nobody played that.
Yeah.
Which I might be interested in it at some point, but like it'd have to be on sale.
They haven't released a new RPG game. I guess they've released the Fallouts, but they have released like the Dooms, the Wolfenstein series. Like Bethesda's had some pretty regular releases.
Yeah, but there's also like Bethesda Softworks and Bethesda Publishing, like two separate things, and I'm pretty sure Doom and all that stuff is under publishing.
Yeah, and it's id Softworks and all that actually does. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And even the remake was handled by a French company. They were
remake of Oblivion.
Yeah, they were doing all the assets and stuff all over. But I just think there's some things where like, you know, they have a lot of staying power, and a lot of these like a lot of jokes in like internet culture can be traced back to Bethesda. Everyone knows about the thing that happens in Minecraft where you can't sleep when there's enemies nearby.
Of course.
But there's been plenty of memes from Oblivion and maybe even Morrowind of the same exact thing before popular Minecraft ended up getting as popular as it did. Mm-hmm. The classic "Stop! You violated the law."
Right, pay your fine or go back to jail. Then like the Skyrim one is like, actually, I'm the friend of the King Jarl or whatever. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I did not recognize you, and then he just walks away.
Yeah, you only get to do that once though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you get your one like pass, and then they're like, we're not letting that slide again. You can't just keep killing people.
Yeah, that means you got to go all out on the big one.
Right, you got to do a whole big town murder, and they're like, the king says it's all right one time. One time, you get the pass.
There's also like a sort of... A lot of people say that the quests in Oblivion are a lot better than those in Skyrim. Some people try to say that Skyrim has like a better open world with more things to find. I kind of disagree, but I am biased.
Oblivion, multiple times during the quest, during some quests, they just told me to read a book. So I'm gonna give the L to Oblivion on that.
You click on the book and then you get more information. By the way, that's something I do value.
Yeah,
I think that's better than go to cave, kill Draugr.
Yeah, no, I thought I would actually have to read the book for sustenance, but if I just open the page, then the quest like advanced. So I was like, okay, I don't actually have to read. But I got really concerned that it was gonna try to make me read a book, because there's every single book on that shelf has a different name, and they're all at least like 10, 20 pages.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There was a video. Brian David Gilbert, who he read every single book in Skyrim.
Why?
And talked about the contents of them.
Jesus.
There's a lot of shit in there. There's like over 200 books in Skyrim, which means that Oblivion probably has a similar amount.
I'll bet it. They're all like chock filled with like different lore. Like one guy just sat down like one day and just each day wrote one book, and then that was it. Over the course of development, he just had 200 books.
For Patrick Stewart's role as Uriel Septim, they gave him like legit, 200 pages of backstory and lore.
And he's only in there for like 10 minutes.
He dies in the tutorial.
And
he said he loved it.
I was gonna say that Patrick Stewart's whole performance in that was a highlight right away. Like he immediately brings you in of like, oh shit, this is some serious shit we're doing. Mm-hmm. And then who's the other guy that's plays his son? It's another famous guy, Sean Bean. Why? What the hell is with this cast? Why they got Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean?
That's the only two voice actors of note.
But that's
in the game.
That's
well, they're
crazy.
The main characters, aside from you, who doesn't have a voice except for going, ah!
Yeah, I guess, and literally no one else is, like, a worthwhile. That's crazy to think, like, it was back then, like, not many video games had, like, crazy pulls. Like, Ron Perlman in the Fallout series was a crazy pull, but even then he wasn't, like, a super A-list actor. Everybody knew who he was, but he never had, like, super major starring roles, so you couldn't really say, like, oh, what a crazy, gigantic get. But, like... Patrick Stewart's a crazy, gigantic get. Sean Bean, also a pretty crazy get. That's wild. 2 times. I can't believe it. That's like some Saints Row shit where they just pulled Neil Patrick Harris in the middle of him, like, right after Harold and Kumar. It's like, you were on the rise and you stopped to do a video game. Like, what did they pay you? What was the relationship like?
Well, I also imagine that, like, open world RPGs, Bethesda, they probably have or at least had a pretty good name for, like, what they do. If it's a expanding market of video games and you're a voice actor, you may want to dip your toes in and see what it's like, and if it does well, maybe you do more of it.
I've heard actors talk in the past of like there's sort of a stigma of like TV acting as opposed to movie acting as opposed to commercial acting. Like they're different pools sort of deal. So like there's kind of like once you become the movie actor, that's you don't touch commercials anymore because that's beneath you. I wonder if video game voice acting like fell into one of those pools to where like it's beneath some actors to do. I guarantee.
Oh, I mean, definitely, yeah. There was a whole thing when movies started having actual scores as opposed to just having recording like a silent film with just a live piano player even maybe, or even just a recording of music. And that wasn't really well respected at the time because it was for a movie. Like it was not music for the sake of music. It was music for the sake of something else.
Right. It was just music with like wasn't art sort of deal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of art forms as they come up like don't get a lot of respect from established different types of art. Yeah. Especially when it's these type of hybrid things. And a lot of people do end up respect them out of the gate or end up respecting them. But
yeah, I mean,
hip hop
was a really big one with that too, where it was kind of seen as like you're not supposed to do that to sell out and go in the recording industry sort of deal. You're not supposed to go and make that kind of money. You're supposed to keep it within here. Cool. I didn't know it was like a whole big. It probably is. I wonder how much like voice acting is like talked about within the larger acting community. Wonder if it's like on their radars at all, or if they're literally just like, it's beneath me. I don't even, if anybody comes at me with a video game voice acting, I just, you're not my agent anymore. Don't even try to get that shit to me.
I mean, there's also like different levels of this stuff, like The Last of Us, that's kind of respected. But then again, I'm pretty sure like The Last of Us and God of War and stuff like that also just have trained video game voice actors or cartoon voice actors or whatever, as opposed to big names. I think getting Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean was a bit of a yes, they are very good, but also it's like, hey, we get to work with some very respected people.
Yeah, but you're not going to see Leonardo DiCaprio doing a video game voice or Brad Pitt doing a video game voice, anything like that.
I could see Brad Pitt.
Maybe.
Did you see him in Deadpool 2?
No, actually, I didn't get to see Deadpool 2.
There's this whole running joke throughout the middle section of Deadpool 2 where Deadpool needs to get a crew of people together, and one of them is the Invisible Man.
Oh, that's Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and he doesn't say anything the entire time, right?
Because it probably pays him more first lines, yeah.
And he's just like a completely empty room, and they're like, okay, shit, we got him, he's sold. And then they put the parachute on him because they're all jumping out of a plane. And as they're all coming down, parachuting down, everybody is getting fucked up except for the one character, Domino, whose power is that she's really lucky.
Right.
But everybody is falling directly into a wood chipper and shit like that. And then you see just a parachute in the backpack floating down, and it touches a power line, and you see Brad Pitt going and then exploding. I was like, holy shit.
It was Brad Pitt the whole time. Yeah. That's pretty great.
So I think he's got he doesn't have to take himself too seriously, even if that's still a movie, but
Right. I was going to say, maybe it's still even that could have been maybe it took a lot of convincing or whatever for him to go. Who knows? But I feel like maybe even video games are wouldn't even be on his radar. I feel anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to look into it to see if what video game voice acting means to a lot of people.
My favorite thing about Patrick Stewart being in the game, though, and I don't know if this was just introduced in the remake, but remaster technically. But there's the part where you and the Emperor and his guards, you split up, right? And he's like, "Don't follow us," and then you end up making your way back to them just because you're going through the caves,
right?
And then Emperor Septim was like, "Don't kill him.
He's here for a reason."
And
I
then
saw you again.
Walks to you to talk to you,
right?
But that room has 2 different levels of floor, right? You can jump, so you can get up and down between them really easily, but he can't. So if you're on the upper level, he walks all the way down to where they're all the same, and then all the way back up. By that point, you can jump over to the other one, and then he just turns around and starts walking to you again.
And you can just keep him there forever.
Yeah. But partway through, he just goes "Don't make me yell." I'm like, okay, sorry, Patrick Stewart.
They thought of that. That's funny. That's really funny.
It seems like a remake thing though, because it's I don't know. They could have just made it so he talks to you from an okay distance, right? He didn't need to walk all the way back every single time.
Don't
they did that.
Make me yell.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
And then he asks you about your star sign.
Talking astrology.
Yeah, it's cute. But I think the quests in Oblivion are super duper neat. You did the one where it's the Great Prince, the king of the arena, number one battler. He's like, yeah, I'm actually the son of a count, so if you could, find my birthright, I'd make it worth your while. And then you find out that he's part vampire, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, his dad went vampire, so his mom locked him up just to be like, yeah, we're not going to deal with that. And then he went crazy. That was I think the more shocking thing for me to finding out during that quest was that he was a vampire all along. As opposed to I figured it was going to be, he got turned and that's why he got locked in there. But no, it was she was probably plotting this whole he's been a vampire. We need to take care of him for a while. Because at the end he's like, I just need to feed soon, so I should be fine. And then wait a minute, I'm locked in here? No, and then he goes crazy. So you're like, he knew he was a vampire. Oh shit! Not only was he not only a vampire, but a really bad vampire because he wasn't innocent at all. He was a super bad vampire, like a dick.
Yeah, which I don't even know what that means for the Great Prince, right? Because is he half vampire or whatever? He goes into the sun.
Yeah,
he doesn't feed, but I don't think that effect happens in Oblivion. In Skyrim, if you don't feed for long enough, like you just start taking damage in the sun.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I feel like it's just probably like a racism thing, though. Once someone finds out you're half vampire, they'll just be like all the misconceptions, like, ooh, you probably feed, ooh. And they're like, I don't. I'm just a half vampire. And they're like, well, get out of my bar anyway.
Yeah.
Your gross fangs.
I mean, he's already an orc.
Yeah, it's already half orcs.
That's just regular racism.
Yeah, that's to say, double racism. Orc, vampire. He's probably like, fuck. People already make fun of my teeth. This sucks.
But there's another quest that I did where you're just walking along. I basically like walked pretty much the entire perimeter like of Imperial City when I started out. I like walking to places at least the first time just to catch everything on the road.
Sure.
So I walked around and I came across a little village and there, like I walked into the inn because I needed to level up, and an invisible guy was like, hey, so there's like a wizard like in the fort nearby, and he definitely is the one that turned us all invisible. So I need you to go to him and get us to be visible again because everyone thinks we're haunted.
Oh,
and we don't get any business because of it. So you walk down the hill, you go to the guy, and he's like, oh, all right, fine. Here's a scroll. Cast this in the middle of town, and it'll fix it for everyone.
Oh, no.
Well, actually, this one does clear up pretty much immediately. You walk back, and you cast it, and they say thank you. But it takes a lot of convincing to get this guy to agree with you. He's like, oh, they don't need to worry about it. It'll wear off. It's not permanent. And you ask, like, how long? It's like a year.
This is Jesus.
Like, no, they, like, need...
Yeah, that's not good.
The whole quest is just you convincing some guy to, like, actually do the right thing.
Right.
Instead of just being a dick.
I got skeptical because I ended my stream. The last quest what I was doing was, I forget what was it like the Axe of Darrell or whatever? I had to go find this guy who was like, oh, getting held ransom. And he's like, oh, okay, if you go find the Axe of Darrell and bring it back to me, then whatever. I'll give you this guy will be fine. And just... If you could do this quest, it's something my idiot friends went and lost. So you go to the island and open the gate to go there, and he's like, so you fell for the Axe story too, huh? Yeah, well, he brings people to this island to hunt them for sport. So we're going to die here. And I was like, great. We're fucking tricked. I'm going to have to... Hopefully I can, like, stealth my way out of there. Just like the hunters aren't going to be expecting someone to actually fight back. Because he didn't, like, no one tried to take my gears. I don't know why he sent me there. It makes sense why he sent the guy who owes him debts. Because, like, yeah, just throw him there. Like, oh, yeah, you're going to get tortured and die in the worst way. But, like, I'm a badass killer. Like, I'm winning in the arena and shit. Like, he sent me there with all of my weapons and all this shit. Like,
he just let you take the boat yourself, right? Like, he could have lied.
How's he going to get there?
And said something like, oh, there's a magic thing on the fort. You can't take your weapons.
Right. He could have been like, be sure to put your weapons in the chest so they know that you're disarmed or whatever. Like, he could have lied so much more, but he was just like, nah. Just go in there and you'll be fine.
Also, like, when you opened up the gate, why didn't that guy just walk out?
That's what I'm saying. I could see him. Why didn't he just, like, run to me and be like, hold on, wait. Because he says, as soon as you get in there, he's like, the gate's locked behind you. Like, what then? What, you knew? It's just, so stupid. But yeah, no, hopefully I'm just going to kill the shit out of all those guys. I'm going to go back to him and he'll be like, oh, hey, funny to see you again. And I'll kill him in the middle of a bar. And then probably have to pay a fine because I don't know if the guards of the Imperial Guards will like that, but whatever.
Yeah, if you're the first to attack, then, it's assault.
Yeah, but what's it, 250 gold? I can pay that
it's 1,000 if you kill someone.
Fuck, that's pretty steep.
Well, so...
What happens if you go to jail? How long do you have to serve?
One, it's like immediate. You just click.
Right, and then go to jail. But how long do you have to stay there? Is it just until you escape?
It's like probably like a week or two or something like that. It doesn't really matter because nothing in the game is like, oh, this needs to be done like right now.
Right, but I mean, do I just have to sit and wait each day?
No, you click on the bed and you serve sentence.
Oh,
button.
Okay.
But it does. The things that happen when you go to jail is you get your stolen goods taken away, and you lose some skills dependent on how big the fine is, because the fine also is related to how long the sentence would be.
Oh man, I lose skills when I go to jail?
Yeah.
BS.
It's not the worst, but at least it's not attributes, right?
Yeah, but still, it's annoying. I'd rather just... is there a statute of limitations? If I just avoid the guards long enough and I come back later, are they still going to be like, hey?
There's a way to get away with crimes and then walk into the town without serving a sentence or paying a fine, but that'll come later. But speaking of skills, though, this is a remaster, but they call it a remaster because it is really like the core is the same thing. But they did improve quite a lot of things surrounding leveling and combat. So the old way that leveling worked was just kind of bad. It was like counterintuitive to how you would actually want to level. So you choose a class, right? Mm-hmm. Class comes with some favorite attributes and major skills, right? So major skill gets an initial boost, and when you level them up, that contributes to your next like character level.
Right.
Minor skills would not contribute to your next character level. But instead of having 12 points to distribute for each level, you would have 3. And the attributes would get bonuses if you leveled up skills governed by that attribute, which skills governed by attributes is removed as well now too. So if you were leveling up your major skills, you would get shit bonuses because you wouldn't have leveled up enough skills underneath that attribute to get a good bonus. And so it would be like +1 or +2 when you're really looking for +4 and +5.
So they fixed that in the remake is what you're saying? So now it actually works like sort of as intended?
Yeah, well, now you just get 12. But you could potentially get even more skill points in the original than you can the current one, because you could get bigger bonuses on all 3 of the attributes that you upgrade. Instead of having to do like 4-4-4, you could do like maybe 5-5-5.
Right.
For all I know. But it disincentivized you from leveling up your major skills, the things that your character's supposed to be about.
Right.
Because if you did, you would lose out on attributes as you level up and you wouldn't scale correctly. So you were supposed to go and do a different thing, like different skills that aren't your major skills, to give the modifiers to your attributes when you level up.
Right. It doesn't make sense for the spec into strength when you're trying to be a sneaky stealth archer. You want to be specking into agility and what's the other one? It's not perception. Fuck. I don't remember.
Speed.
Speed. Yeah. No, that's agility. It's speed and what's the other one?
Speed and agility are different things.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. Speed is like athletics and agility is like jumping.
Yeah, acrobatics.
Yeah. At least I think they're different.
I know that
sure they are.
that's the two different. The two I'm specking into. It makes sense. Was luck the same way in the original? It's where it costs like 5 to actually put 1 point into it?
Pretty much. So what it was is like you'd had to earn the modifiers, but you only had 3 points.
Right.
So you would put 1 point into luck, and it could never get a modifier because it didn't govern any skills. So essentially, you were taking up to 4 points and putting it in there.
Right.
But now it's always 4 points because you aren't earning them; you're just giving them at level up.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
But yeah. Also, as you go like later through the game, enemy scaling is supposedly pretty rough.
Interesting.
I've definitely dealt with that and had to lower the difficulty before.
I was going to say, I'm kind of at a plateau right now where everything's kind of easy. I'm staying ahead of things, so I'm wondering when that cliff's going to come up. Because I'm especially in the arena, I'm able to just smoke people.
I mean, this is the whole thing about Stealth Archer, though, is that you just keep on backing up.
Just as long as I'm fast enough, too. Like, I can just walk backwards faster than they can attack forwards. They lose.
Yep. You just strafe them.
Especially against another archer, like they can just like, oh, you're about to shoot, pillar, back, fire. It's even easier. Yeah, I've been loving Oblivion though. It's every time I play it, I find something new where it's just like, oh, this is so neat. Like being able to enchant things and name them different things. I'm like, I want to be able to make a whole bunch of things. Like, can't wait to get my second playthrough and not sell Azura's Star or not give it away right away.
Yeah, I was really trying to help you out there, but I didn't want to spoil it.
God, why
it's
are
the
they
best one? I mean, not the best one, but it's a really good
It's
one.
a really good one, even in theory. I haven't even used it yet, but I'm so pissed that I gave it up. And they're just like, oh, you could go and just get this one, I guess. Meanwhile, the Lord of Partying is just like, everybody's literally just like, yeah, we get drunk and have sex at this statue. And it's like, I could give a fuck about that one. Why couldn't I give you that? Why didn't you send me to there? Why you got to send me to this super cool artifact?
Well, honestly, the Sanguine artifact is also pretty neat.
Oh, yeah?
It's also, at some point, you can get the skeleton key.
Ooh. Does that just unlock every unlockable chest?
It's an unbreakable lockpick.
Ooh, even better.
So you can go
Just
into the
spam,
minigame and
spam, spam.
auto.
Hell
If
yeah.
your skill is bad, you're just going to have to hit the button more, but...
I love that.
Yeah. They actually also have that in Skyrim, but I think you need to give it away or something.
No.
There's a couple of different neat things. There's boots that negate all fall damage, I'm pretty sure.
So if you get high enough athletics, doesn't fall damage just basically drop to nil?
It's halved.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even more, but
Nice.
I'm pretty sure you can survive. There's like a point in the game where like you get the boots and you're supposed to use them to survive a really tall fall that will break the boots. But I think if you have enough athletics, you can not wear the boots and survive.
Hell yeah.
And then you get to keep the boots, which I don't even know if you really need them, but they're neat.
Can you repair them after they get broken or no?
No, it's like for that particular thing, it's like you hit the ground while wearing the boots and then you get a notification that's like they are destroyed.
Oh, damn. That's pretty funny, though. Yeah, you could just get, no more fall damage for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I got to find a nice low ceiling where I could just jump infinitely.
Oh, that's the thing.
That's
always been a thing.
I just got to put a spacebar macro or something.
There's a spot in Anvil, supposedly. I don't know if it's in the remake, but there's like a bench under an awning in front of a house, and you like jump on the bench, like on the back of the bench, and you hold space, and then that's like the shortest possible ceiling where you can still jump.
That'd be so perfect.
If that was a major skill, which honestly that'd still probably level you up, but since you can't get like less attributes.
Right.
But if that was a major skill, you would just get a bunch of shit levels going all the way to 100, and then everyone would be too strong for you.
Because you'd be way over leveled, but only in that thing.
So, yeah, lots of good stuff. There's something else I wanted to talk about. What?
Is there other? I've seen some like named items, but there's like named unique items that I can find for free in the world, right out there, just like sword in the stone type shit.
Yeah,
sweet.
I mean, I found just like I killed like a particular Dremora, and then it's like the Mace of Regret.
Yeah, I found one of those too. It was like the Sorrow's Burden or something like that. I found.
As you level up your mercantile too, sellers will have even cooler items.
Yeah, I've seen some unique ones. Like I remember
the Fist of the Drunkard.
The Fist of the Drunkard is one of my favorite ones. Just keeps increasing your strength, and I think what is it, like vitality, but then lowers your willpower and intelligence. So it just makes you dumber and like weaker. Like eventually you just fall down and like no stamina.
They patched out the original item dupe glitch, but there's another one now.
Hey.
And I remember having a lot of fun with that originally, because what it was is that you needed one item in a stack, and then you'd like select a couple different things in your inventory, and then you drop them. But you drop like a different item, but that item would be dropped to the amount of the other stack. So if you had like scrolls and arrows, you could use those to duplicate each other into like really high stacks of things.
Right.
And then you could just dupe like all your soul gems.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be smart. Yeah. Is that you're saying that's how it works in the remake?
That's how it works in the original. There is one in the remake. I just don't know what it is.
I have to look that up because duping soul gems would be definitely something.
You just take a load off.
Honestly,
it's just sort of.
I gotta go rob a mage's guild like every stream because I just need to go find it. They want to sell like, oh yeah, we have 13 petty soul gems for like 300. It's like cool. That refills my boat once. Like, I gotta steal your whole display case full of stuff, and even then, it's will only be enough for another one.
Another upgrade they did was in the combat skills and stuff like that, because they used to all suck, and like you'd get it to like master rank, and then it would be like 5% chance to paralyze enemy, 5% chance to knock them down. There's one where it's like the block skill. When you make it to like level 50, you'd get a shield bash, right?
Ooh, so you can actually just. I think I've seen that.
In the remake, you can, if you hit attack while shielding, you will do a shield bash. In the original, you had a chance to shield bash when blocking.
Just random chance?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And you take a hit. It's like...
Let's say blocking doesn't negate damage until you get like really high blocking. It just like reduces it. It doesn't fully negate. That's crazy. You wouldn't just sit behind a shield. Blocking is something you do when only like you're like, got to. Otherwise, you're just staying out of range.
Yeah, I actually spec into block. I use block a lot.
I have not. I've tried to, especially when I try to do just like short short sword and shield. Say that 5 times fast. But it's just sucks. I don't have the health and willpower for it. Fortitude. Mm-hmm. Even blocking, I just get killed too quick.
Yeah, I got my... I have a shield that, like, fortifies block.
Okay.
And I'm really enjoying third person. I've never played one of these games third person before.
Yeah, I'm not really a third person player. I sometimes do, especially with my latest Fallouts for the same reason. Just I never played it. But I'm going through this, I'm playing first person just regular. My second playthrough might be third.
Well, the reason I'm playing third person is because one of the selling points of the remake is that they finally added a crosshair when you're in third person.
Oh, they didn't have that?
No, and so you if you wanted to play third person and you wanted to use a bow, just give up, right? Like, you couldn't aim.
I mean, yeah, to be fair though, if you're going in third person, I feel like even for most third person games, you're going for like long shots. It brings you to the first person perspective. Like Legend of Zelda using a bow, so like you'd want to look in first person. Like switch to first person anyway. What are you trying to snipe in third person, weirdo? If you're shooting people that are really close, do you really need to aim that well? Probably. I miss even when in first person when people are close because I'm just trying to run, jump, dodge away.
I'm also a really big fan of the sprint button. So I think combat is like cool in this game. It like wasn't always. It was a lot of just sort of like standing in each other's faces and going, ooh.
Yeah, pause. Potion. Yeah, ooh, back to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I like, I'm like fighting someone and I use a sprint button and I like just weave underneath their sword and get behind them and then I'm like slashing them again. It's really satisfying. It's
yeah, it's pretty fun to actually have to, when people are fast too, to like shoot and then have to like run and try to reposition around everywhere. It makes me kind of like miss Avowed because they had that little bit of the parkour mechanic. After playing Oblivion, I realized why people were really kind of soured on Avowed because it's way more simpler of an RPG. Like, there's just so much less to it. And like I said, it's not a bad game for that reason. It definitely doesn't deserve to be a $70 game, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but I can see why now people were like, wow, Avowed just kind of sucks. Because compared to Oblivion, there's, like, nothing in Avowed. It's a very bare bones game. And for what it is, it's fine and good if it was, like, a $20 just like, hey, this is going to be, a little fun game, but it's definitely not a full, complete game like Oblivion was. They don't make them like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Well, feels like about that time. But before we go, I just want to say, definitely do the Dark Brotherhood questline.
Is that the people I got to murder to eventually they show up?
Do you want me to explain exactly how to?
No, I want to murder somebody and then they start to show up in my sleep. I want it to be random. I'm going to be spooked.
I guess be great. There's one caveat that I want to give you, and it needs to be an innocent person.
That makes sense. I figured.
Like,
well, am I going to murder somebody who deserves it? And they're going to be like, yes, how evil. They're fucking... Of course, it's got to be an innocent person. They don't have children in the game, so I'm not one of them, but...
Yeah. It's funny that there's just no children.
Is there a lore reason for that? Do they just, like, kind of explain it away funnily? Like, oh, there's a mass field trip or something going on?
No. I think they thought that not being able to kill a being in the game might be illusion breaking because in Skyrim there are children but they can't die.
You already can't kill a bunch of people. There's people that just get knocked unconscious. That's a kind of a thing in Bethesda
fair.
Games.
That's completely fair. Yeah, and Morrowind that wouldn't happen.
Really?
In Morrowind you get like if someone important dies, they're just like the thread of fate has been broken with the death of this
game
individual.
Over.
No, you're in a. It's like feel free to continue in this doomed world.
Oh, all right. So you literally just can't continue the main quest, but hey, here you go.
Like it is like okay, cool. Like Apocalypse Inbound. If you want to fuck around with the, some assassins or something. The game should not be afraid to do that. And we'll talk about it at the beginning of next episode. But not being afraid to fail. But thank you for listening to this episode of Cold Hard Trash CRT episode 48. I am your host. I've been your host, Trashcan Jones. If you like it, please rate it 5 stars. Leave a comment. Tell us what you liked about it. About Elder Scrolls, if you like that, leave a comment about that. Give us some engagement. We would appreciate it. Till next time. See you later. Peace.